indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Skatarnik is absent tonight. Commissioner Avery is absent tonight. Commissioner Hendrick.
Here.
Commissioner Lovett.
Here.
Commissioner Melly.
Here.
Commissioner Simpson.
Here.
Commissioner Turner.
Here.
City Manager Gaber.
Here.
I'll make a motion to excuse Commissioner Avery and Skatarczyk.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Next, communications. We have 3 items tonight. 4A, we have a letter from the Council on Aging. Dear friends, enclosed, please find an announcement for this very important renewal of the city senior citizen service millage that will be on the ballot for August 5th primary election. Basically, we appreciate your assistance in posting this information. Please contact us if you have any questions. So, announcement for that, they've got a long list of information here that will be available. Can we put this on our city website? Or?
We can get it up there.
Okay.
We're in the process
Short
of
time to-
changing over right now.
Yeah.
However, the key to all of this, Mayor Pro Tem, is that it's a renewal, okay? It's not new, it's a renewal that they're asking for continued support, so.
Okay. Item 4B, this is a letter to the City Commission from Mike Idrich, DPW Director. On July, apparently it's 26th now, we are having a community build for King Road Park Playground. Mike and staff are donating their time for this project, thank you very much, and are asking our permission to use city equipment if needed to complete the project. This would range from backhoes to drill holes. Only Mike and staff would be using the heavy equipment if needed. So they're asking for us to consider this option.
Make a motion.
Sure.
Make a motion that we give the permission to use the city equipment for this project.
Support. All right, any further discussion?
Oh.
Yes?
What time is this on the 26th? 8 o'clock.
They want to get done.
That's not a
You'd,
requirement out there, is it?
You want to move it up to 7, is that what I'm hearing? No? Okay,
All right, thank you.
great. 8 o'clock it is. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Yes, Dave?
Just to thank Mike and the DPW guys for stepping up and volunteering their personal time on very much a city project. Thank you guys very much.
Diddle bit.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You got it, Mike. 4C. I guess this is informational for us
That's
here.
it. Yes, it is.
Go ahead. You want to talk on this, John?
No,
All right.
it's just information.
In recognition of completing the requirements for MMTA, Michigan Municipal Treasurers Association, Mary Ellen McDonald is awarded recertification for June 1st, 2014. Do we have a plaque to give her? Or?
No, she.
Not tonight.
She has the most,
All right.
mouth stuff.
That completes communication for us tonight.
Make a motion that we accept the communications and place on file.
Support.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Brings us up to item 5, public comment. Residents are welcome to address the city commission. Please state your name and address. Try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Yes, sir. If you wouldn't mind, just at the podium. That way we get you on the microphones and.
My name is Michael Gabbard. I live at 262 North William Street. My issue is the delinquent water bills. The city did not mail the bills to North William Streets, Westminster, or Woodward Streets. They were sent back to the city by the post office because they were not properly sealed. The city did not remail them. Instead, they waited until the delinquent bills were mailed out. The post office said there were 100 or more returned to the city. I got nothing but the runaround when I came to pay my bill. They said I would have to see the city manager. Okay. When I saw him, he gave me the runaround. He said he couldn't drop the late charges because he wouldn't know whether the people would have been late or not. Well, if you don't give them a bill, you don't know if they're gonna be late or not. He then said it was possible that the mail carrier failed to deliver them. But some of the bills are mailed to different addresses outside the city, and they didn't get a bill until the delinquent bills were mailed out. Mr. Gabor said there was nothing he could do. The city knows which addresses were affected: North William, Westminster, and Woodworth. And I think the city should drop the delinquent charges on them. And I'd like to see some action on this instead of another runaround. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Pat O'Brien. I live at 251 North William. I also have the same issue about the delinquent water bill. In 19 years, I've never been late. We never did receive our bill for the June. So we got the shut-off notice with the late fee. We did go through the chain of command, city clerk's office, the city manager's office. City manager said they could not do anything unless we appeared before you. And if you recommended that he do something about it, he would say no, he couldn't do anything about it because he would be afraid that other people that were habitually delinquent would show up and try and take advantage of the situation. I think in this case, you ought to show faith in the citizens of Marine City, waive, give an amnesty, whatever, for late fees for that month, that billing period, if you have to be sure that this is covered properly. It really upsets me that we were just assumed that we were trying to hustle you out of a $15 or $20 late fee when we've never been late before. This is something that we did not get the mail, and the fact that we're not being believed on this really upsets me on that too. So, and I think that something should be done also. I agree with Mike.
Thank you. Christine, all these go out. And
I think you have someone else that wants to.
oh, I'm sorry. Someone else wanted to speak up? Apologize. Please.
Hi, I'm Debbie Harity. I'm with the Council on Aging, and I'm the supervisor of the Washington Life Center here in Marine City. I'm here in person to remind everyone of our senior millage renewal on the ballot August 5th. I hope people realize that it is a renewal. Back in 2010, we went for our regular .5 millage. And then in 2012, we found it necessary before then, but finally in 2012, we asked for a .3 increase. And that went through, thankfully. So our millage is .8. And all we want to do, everyone has already paid that .8 mil. It's been in effect. We just want to renew the whole thing so that it will now become one election on one ballot every 4 years. So I would like to let you know that Mr. Gabor was great in participating 2 times in our Big Wheels delivering meals. And we deliver 1,000 meals a day countywide. And we service 10,000 clients countywide. And without this millage, our doors close because it is our match money for all state grants and federal and state funding. So if we don't have that, we can't function. We are never frivolous with any of our monies, and they are used very wisely for the seniors in this county. I can make it just a little bit more personal very quickly. Our fiscal year begins October 1st, and this is my monthly report for June of this year. And to make it a little bit personal, our year-to-date clients that have used our center, this is as far as programs attending our center, is 2,601 clients, and that's unduplicated. Now, we count units as if you come and you go to our exercise program, and then you go to lunch, and then you go to bingo, and then you play pickleball, we would count you as a unit as 4 units, because you went to 4 things, but we only count you once as a client. So we have 2,601 clients coming through our center, and just short of 51,000 units since October 1st through the month of June. And I can even go, if you're more interested in getting real personal, we have from October to June, 302 clients just from Marine City. And those people make up 7,554 units for the center. So I think we're a very viable thing for the seniors between all our programs and our services. People tend to get a little bit complacent in non-presidential or, these kind of elections. We never get complacent. Laura Newsom, the executive director, has been doing millage presentations in the line at Kroger's and in doctor's office waiting room, and any place she has a trapped audience. So we ourselves never get complacent. We are appreciative that it has always passed and people have voted for approval in good faith. We ask that you please remember we are on the ballot August 5th. Thank you.
Before you run off, here's a chance to put a plug in for a little more. So aside from the meals, tell us some more of the good work that you guys do.
It's combined into services and programs. I'll do it as quickly as I can. The services are our transportation.
I'm giving you as much time as you need.
Yeah, well, our transportation, Council on Aging was the first to offer transportation in St. Clair County. And that was quite a while ago, before my time even.
Right.
But we have 2 natural gas vehicles, and we thank you for the ability to fill here. For quite a while, we had to go up to Port Huron to fill our vehicles. But we have all natural gas vehicles countywide. They're handicap accessible. And we transport seniors to doctor's appointments, to programs at the center. Medicals are all priority. Our other services are in-home services. We do personal care, homemaking, chore, home repair, chore and home repair, yeah. And then our programs are what happens at the centers, and we have 4 centers countywide. So we truly are a countywide. And the nutrition program we took over probably about 15 years ago. So that's always not part of ours, but it sure is, it's a wonderful program. Because we don't, we call. If someone doesn't answer their door, we call, and we keep calling emergency contacts, grandchildren, sons, daughters, doctor's offices. We call the hospital. We bother River District Hospital regularly.
You guys are better than Life Alert.
Yeah, we do. We will allow the driver and the runner to go on to continue the route because they're delivering over 100 meals. But we keep calling until we know that that senior is okay. And if we can't find that out, then my resource advocate goes down to the client's house and calls the police, the sheriff, whatever is appropriate for the area, and they go in, they get in that house and make sure, because we have found seniors in the midst of a stroke or a heart attack, and no one else would have ever come in and looked on them. And so we've saved many lives.
Awesome.
So.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot, but thanks.
No,
Thanks for the
I can
extra
talk
info.
about I've worked here 24 years. I will be retiring September 30th, but I have not had the same day. Every day is different. I see so many wonderful friendships that, if somebody isn't at my center for a couple of days, they come to me and they say, okay, Mary hasn't been here.
What's
And I
going on,
tried to
Mary?
call her and I can't get her, And the same thing at the center. They're not happy unless they know Mary's okay and she'll be back on Monday or whatever. And if she isn't, then they'll go see her at Faith or wherever she is in rehab, or at least call. So it's just a feel-good job. I am very proud of what I've done for 24 years
Great.
and have been a part of such a wonderful agency.
thank you for coming and sharing that today.
Thank you for giving me time.
Anyone else? I'd like to follow up on the water bill issue there. So what we believe happened right now is, it was a mess up with the post office then, is that what I'm hearing? That we think,
The letters weren't sealed. Post office shipped them back to the city.
okay? Not sealed. Chris, can you talk on
There
that?
were some letters that were not sealed properly. We put them through a mail machine,
Okay.
and they did bring them back.
So they were basically open,
There was several, not a lot, but they
Okay.
brought the whole lot back to us to check.
right?
The post office, we usually walk them down because we wanna get them in the mail right away. They brought them back to us, we resealed them and took them down there right away.
So why weren't they mailed back out?
They were, we sealed them and took them right
You
back
can't tell
down.
me that over 100 of them didn't get mailed out.
First of all, there wasn't 100.
There wasn't 100.
Okay, well,
There was, according to the post office, there was between 100 and 130 of them. And some of them were addressed to addresses that, you know, outside of town.
Okay.
The landlords that owned those houses, they didn't get theirs either. You can't blame it on the post office, it was two different carriers, more than one area that it went
so
through.
that have caused late delivery then, to the point where they're
No,
missing
we took them
payment?
back right away.
We took them back the same day.
The
Okay.
problem
We
too is
took
the
them back
post
within an
office, they go from here to
To
the other
Royal
post
Oak.
According to
office.
the post office.
Right.
They go from here to Royal Oak and then come
Not
back.
according to the post office.
I don't know how they would know that many weren't delivered. If
They have
didn't
no way of
them.
knowing.
I don't
The
They
know.
same
send
way
them
we
back to
don't.
you, that's how they know.
They
Pardon me?
what?
They send them back to you, they know approximately how many there were.
No, they don't have a clue. I can tell you that.
We have a billing.
See, that's the
register.
runaround you gave me when I talked to you before.
Absolutely
We
not.
talked to the post office before we
Okay.
talked to you.
I'm
All
done.
right, we gotta keep this under control, but I'm concerned the fact that, there's a few that got late notices, right? Is that,
A few.
I don't know the exact
No,
numbers, sir.
excuse me for a second. When people went into the
Jim.
city hall to pay their bill, they had to thank one, they said, well, there's nothing we can do about it, pay it. That's all they did, so some people just went ahead and paid it. But according to the post office, there was between 100 and 130 of them that didn't get mailed. They were sent back to the city.
I never did get a bill, I got the late notice.
I talked to people up and down my street, and they didn't get their bills neither.
But,
And the people over on Woodward Street didn't get their bills.
all right.
People on Westminster that I know didn't get their bills.
We have two people here tonight complaining. Do we know how many late payments or
There were
non-payments?
185 shut-off notices sent out in that section.
Okay,
We average about 190 a billing cycle for that section.
okay.
Okay.
So it didn't
But if
raise
you
any
don't send
flag.
the bill, you don't know who's gonna be late.
Hold
do
on,
you?
hold on. So,
So it didn't raise any flag because it wasn't out of the normal. We did look at the data. There's somewhere between 25 and 30 that don't have any kind of history of late payment that could have potentially not received it for some reason or another, okay?
which
But
seems
there's
like,
no way to
which
identify
seems
what
like
that
a good
reason-
approach to filter out.
Yeah,
We've done all the background
Right.
on it.
yeah, but the reason we can't do anything about it is, as a city, we do not have a policy on that. So I can't just arbitrarily do that, so my
If I
plan,
make a mistake, you make
can I,
it correct mine.
you're done, sir, I'm sorry.
Hold on,
So I will come back at either the next meeting, I wanted to wait till we had a full board and let the board, I'll get some recommendations on what a policy might look like and then let the board
yeah, I don't
take care
think
of
we,
it, and then we can make that
I
retroactive.
think that's a good
then.
approach. I don't think we should just ignore this issue.
No, we're
Because
not.
it'll continue.
Right.
Dave,
And I'll just say that I live on the end of North William, and in one day I had 8 people contact me that I'd never met before. And that's when I spoke with Chris to try and get a little bit of information on that. And so people that appear to be in the same situation as these gentlemen are as well, that no history of payment. So clearly there is some sort of issue there. And that's most people that have ever been contacted in any length of time from myself and immediate neighbors. I pay online, so I don't get a mailed bill, so I can't vouch for that in my area. But clearly that something happened, and I think what the city
Okay.
manager is proposing, as long as it could be retroactive, is something that we should
Well, yeah,
pursue.
and it has to be something we can manage across the whole city.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
To have a policy
right.
to correct this for the future is great.
we had
and then to have a-
211 and 176, so 185 was not out of line with what we normally see in that section.
Last 2 minutes, I hope.
And admittedly, that's a difficult
And we
thing.
had
Well-
almost no complaints out of the previous 2 billing cycles, so. something happened, but.
I'm not proposing that we try to solve this tonight,
No,
but we do need
absolutely
to
not.
follow up on this. Actually, I would like to request at this point that it's on next agenda.
That was our plan, because we
Okay.
should have a full board at the next meeting.
All right.
Do you understand that we are going to work on that and develop a policy and it will be retroactive?
Okay. But there's definitely William Street, Woodworth, and Westminster Street that didn't get their bills. Anybody that lives on, North William, I should say, anybody that lives on them streets should automatically get this retroactive.
And I'll tell you right now, it's hit and miss when you look at those streets. There might be 2 addresses that didn't, 3 that did, another one that didn't, so there's no consistency to it. Because we looked at all the data. Yeah,
All right. Well, again, I've requested that we follow up on this
Yeah,
and put it on
absolutely.
the next agenda.
So that if you make it retroactive, the late fee we already paid could eventually.
it'll show up as a credit on your bill.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all.
Eventually it could be.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for taking the time, bringing it tonight. Anybody else? If not, we're going to close public comment. Item 6, approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Support?
Have a motion and support, any comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 7, approve the minutes from June 19th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the City Commission regular meeting of June 19th, 2014.
Support?
We have a motion and support, any comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Brings us to item 8, consent agenda. We have items A, B, C, D, and E. 8A, Farmers Market 2014. This is Marine City Chamber of Commerce. This is I guess an annual event now,
Yeah.
right? And located at the end of High Street.
High Street, yeah.
Right. That will be, starts on July 17th at 10 a.m., runs consecutive Thursdays until October
It was
24th.
out there today. Today was the first
Okay,
day.
I got it to us a little
I
late.
think, yeah, well, that's all right. It's an annual thing. 8B, Movie in the Park. Again, this is an annual thing. Relevant, although the church name has changed. Relevant Community Church. They put on, I think it's an inflatable screen. They do a movie such a thing in the park
I
there.
do that in my backyard every once in a while.
You do? I never got invited. Anyway,
90-minute mindless movie.
8C, Resource Development Committee, TIFA. Not
Yeah, we're just
totally
providing kind
sure.
of a quick recap of what the areas we're looking at now with
Okay.
that particular committee and our grant resource developer, okay? You know, we usually have it about every other month, so you'll see something every 3 or 4 meetings, something will be.
So this is
acted on.
just a little more formal as to what they're
Yeah.
working on.
Right.
Okay. 8D, I think, yeah, monthly activity report for departments. And 8E, Green City Fire Authority run report. Looking for a motion to receive and file?
I make a motion to receive and file the consent agenda.
Support.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to item 9, unfinished business. We have none. Item 10, new business. Surprisingly, none tonight. And item 11, financial business. Well, 11A and B, financial business. Looking for a motion for 11A.
I make a motion to approve disbursements, including payroll, $480,871.52.
Support?
We have a motion and support. Discussion? No? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hendrick,
Yes.
Commissioner Lovett,
Yes?
Commissioner Melly,
Yes.
Commissioner Simpson,
Yes.
Commissioner Turner,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. 11B, preliminary financial statements.
I make a motion to approve the preliminary financial statements for June 2014.
Support?
A motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to item 11, 12, sorry, city manager's report.
A few things I just want to go over very quickly. The Resource Development Committee, we talked about that briefly as part of the consent agenda, is going to meet on Monday, July 21st at 11 a.m. in my office, okay? It's kind of an open meeting. There are some special requests that went out that they wanted to be part of it. I know the mayor wanted to, but that's his first day back after vacation, so he already said he couldn't make that one.
What time is that?
It's at 11 in my office. It runs for about an hour, okay?
Okay.
If we get a big enough crowd starting to come forward, I'll probably move it to the fire station, but normally it's just 5 or 6 of us that sit around and kind of go through where we are with the different grant applications and what have you. So.
All right.
New house will be breaking ground across from Trahoon's. I think it's staked out. We have a pre-construction meeting because they've got to do some special work on footings, and we don't want them to tear the roads up while they're doing it. So we're going to meet, I believe it's Monday it's Monday, I believe, is the pre-construction, but you're going to see some activity there.
On Water Street?
Yeah, right next.
Is that the
right-
lot next to the park?
Yeah, the lot next to the park, you know where the
Yeah.
brick wall is?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That small lot.
Okay.
It's staked out, and I saw it staked out yesterday, I believe. The water main break street repairs are complete. I think we did 37, Mike?
They got 3 more.
Oh, they still got 3? Because I thought, when you and I last talked, you thought they'd be done by the meeting, so. All right, so we're down to 3 out of 37 or 39, something like that. So, but they're doing a very nice job. I mean, considering some of them were in the brand new pavement. The other thing to go along with that is Mike has got crack sealing material in the machine coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. So we're gonna be back out there sealing up cracks and what have you, which does an awful lot to preserve the asphalt during the winter, so.
Is that
That-
a
that
certain,
program.
certain area, certain streets?
I'm sorry?
Where is it gonna be?
It's gonna be on any of the major streets that we can find and some of the local, but we will cover all the major ones first.
Temporary closing situation?
No, they
No.
usually can do it on the fly.
Okay.
Okay? We shouldn't have to close the streets to do that. We haven't in the past. The sidewalk repairs from the storm, I believe they're all formed, and we couldn't get concrete today or tomorrow. They were booked, so Monday, we have concrete ordered, so I think, can you get them all done on Monday, Mike?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll have them all done on Monday, unless the weather goes south on us or something like that. We started enforcing our blight ordinance yesterday. We have an officer that volunteered to take that on. Brian went with him yesterday to give him a feel of what that's gonna look like and how he should operate. He will not be working out of PD, he'll be working out of the building official's office on Tuesday and Thursday. Those are the days that Brian are typically not in. But he'll be, we're gonna set up a voicemail for him, voicemail box, and he'll be addressing those issues on that, as well as riding around town with the ordinance and what have you. And so you'll probably hear about that, but I'm just giving you a heads up that we're gonna start that, okay?
So he's actually gonna address citizen concerns if they,
If we get calls on him, or he's just gonna address concerns that don't meet our current blight ordinance, so, I'm just giving you a heads up for that.
okay.
We also have ordered the signs for no overnight parking at the new bridge area. Those should be coming in probably within another week or so, we'll get those up. And then Mike and I have also talked about how we can do some temporary pilings attached to the wall so that we can maybe still take advantage of the summer and getting some transient boats. But there will be no parking from 11 PM to 7 AM on the walls. We'll probably give out a warning,
You're talking
To a-
about boat parking, right?
boat parking.
Okay.
We'll probably give out a warning the first time, and if they don't comply, we'll just issue a regular ticket. We have an ordinance in place that allows us to do that.
If you don't mind, a little more clarification. So is it a certain distance from the bridge or where?
It's just where the new seawall, where the bridge seawall is.
All right.
Wherever we'll have a sign at the beginning and
The
the
only reason
end.
I asked that question is because someone has bought that piece of property next to the great boathouse there, whatever.
Yeah, but this is mainly the northwest
side.
Okay.
And there is a boat parked there that's parked on city property.
So is it clear to them what the distance from the bridge
Yeah,
is?
that one particular boat you're looking at,
Yeah, I've seen-
about 2/3 of
When I
it
go
is
for walks, there's a bridge,
on the right of way.
a boat that's
so
docked there pretty much underneath.
They're
the
gonna have to
bridge.
move that one,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's why I asked the question, how far from the bridge?
Yeah, no, in fact, I think all four corners have a steel post welded as a marker,
Okay,
so
so it's
it's, yeah, it's
somewhat
not,
clearly marked?
it's not disguised.
Okay. Don't want any surprises.
Yeah. Preliminary audit is gonna start next week. Typically, they come in for 2 to 3 days and start randomly selecting data. Mary Ellen has already got that information prepared. One thing that came out of this is we had a meeting with our auditors, and we're in the effort of reducing paper and the amount of paper we have to store for a long period of time. We've come up with a plan that we're gonna start on July 1st of this year for the next year, that basically stores an awful lot of it electronically. And if they want something, they'll just ask for a sample of the report, and we'll just produce the report at that time instead of having all reports there and let them pick it. So we're trying to reduce that amount of paper. And we do store all our data off-site nightly. It gets shipped to the cloud,
Right.
to a secure area right now, and that includes all of the PCs that are in the city are all shipped off-site, just as a safety factor. So that's all I have.
All right, very good. Thanks, Jim. Brings us to item 13, Commissioner Privilege. Mr. Melly, I'll let you start tonight.
Okay. I'd like to say it's been a delight. I took on a project with carrying on with Maritime Days, and it's been a challenge and kind of bit off a lot. You know, it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm so grateful that the volunteers that have been working for Maritime Days, they've been truly faithful, and it's happening for Marine City. And to me, I couldn't see it fall down, whereas that Maritime Days is a festival for Marine City, and I want to keep the tradition, keep them going. And it's just amazing with the people coming together, we were able to pull it off. I'm very excited about it, and it's going to be a good event. Hopefully the weather will be for us, and everybody's going to have a great time. But I do want to make knowledge that we can always use volunteers. We definitely need volunteers, young and older, preferably the younger people for setup, bringing up the different things for the beer gardens, and we don't have a tent, but it's going to be at Nautical Park, is where we're going to have our garden, and we're going to have the county stage, where we're going to have music and live performances, and there's going to be a lot of fun things for the kids as well. I just feel like, you know, it's a great opportunity to keep tradition going for our city. And the amazing thing about it was the different volunteers, they don't even live in our city, and therefore, I feel as though that Marine City, we need Clay Township, we need Cottreville, we need all our surrounding community people that putting this performance on for us. And I can't emphasize the point that we definitely need some more volunteers to make this a great success. And we meet at Gar's Restaurant on Tuesday, and we're going to go the next several Tuesdays in a row until the event is carried on. It's going to be August 8th, 9th, and 10th. Of course, the 10th would be the parade, and Friday the 8th, we'll have the fireworks, and we're just excited that everything's all coming together. The other thing I want to make note that as individuals, it's very important for us to exercise our rights to vote. This coming August 5th is a primary, and that gives all individuals the same equal rights to exercise your vote, to say that at least I had a say in having something to go their way or not to go their way. I mean, they have their point of view, and it can be exercised. I very strongly feel if you got that golden opportunity to go out and vote, and this way that's how changes happen, and different things can come across into our community. Just like the lady was talking about Council of the Aging, and then about the library, they having that renewal. It's all on the ballot. So it is important, and then too, whether if you're a Democrat or a Republican, you vote for your party candidate, what you prefer to have put in office, you know, to represent you. For the primary is very important, and then, of course, and then in November will be the final outcome, who will be elected. Other than that, I'm excited about our community, that when people work together, it's amazing how we're able to accomplish different things. And it's just been a total delight, the response of the different people in our community. We've been a very giving community. The biggest thing was when we had the can drive for Maritime Days, it was just overwhelming support that the people wanted the fireworks. And that sent a message to us that we're gonna have a festival. And other than that, I hope to see you out during the festival, and also August 5th is 19 days away for the vote for your different things for the primary. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Levitt.
Thank you. I'd just like to express again the importance of our senior services to our community. We have many seniors who are not able to get out and not provide themselves with food they need. And I know that Mr. Gaber was a big hit. I've heard from several seniors how surprised they were to see him delivering food to their door. And the food that is delivered, I understand, is top-notch. It's quality, and it gives the seniors that opportunity to have food in their homes that they can't go out to get themselves. So do remember that on August 5th to vote the senior millage. I'd like to, again, yes, Maritime Days is coming up, but also I want to remind you that the following month, September 20th, is Heritage Days. And again, we're celebrating all that's good about Marine City. There'll be lots of activities, both September 20th from 10 to 6 p.m. We're going to have just a number of activities for children, for workshops, performances going on. We're also going to have the 8th Arkansas Civil War Regiment and the 15th Michigan Volunteers Infantry doing stage battles on the grounds of the City Hall there, 300 Broadway, Old City Hall. And then on that Sunday, the 21st, there will be tours of the building, and Trey McMacken will be giving a performance. Trey McMacken grew up out on Putty Gut Road, and he has a wonderful program of stories and songs about life here, well, I guess East China, China Township, but in the Marine City area. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Hendrick?
Yep, I just got a quick one here. Over the 4th of July, I'm sure everybody saw and heard all the fireworks we had. I'd just like to thank the PD for handling the amount of calls that they had to deal with the situations. People need to familiarize themselves with the laws and the rules on firing these off. A lot of people are doing them in the middle of the road, which is illegal. There's a lot of rules. We have an ordinance which is formulated off the state, which you can go in and read that, but familiarize yourself with the rules, and please don't torch somebody's house. I mean, the stuff I know in my neighborhood was bad. People were firing off, the debris was falling on people's homes. We don't need to burn other people's houses down just for the sake of lighting off a firework, so please use a little bit more caution. But if you feel there's any problems, please call the PD and let them know and ask them to handle the situation for you. Thank you.
Commissioner Simpson?
This past Saturday, the Marine City Music Festival hosted the beach party after a one-year reprieve, so I just would like to, on behalf of the committee, thank everyone who attended. We estimate that we had about 800 people in attendance for the one-day festival, which is a little bit different for us this year. So we hope everyone had a good time. The weather cooperated for the most part, and we thank everyone for attending. I want to give an extra special thank you to Mike Itrich. I'm very glad he's in attendance tonight. Mike went very much out of his way to accommodate us and make sure we had everything possible that we needed to host a good quality festival. So Mike, thank you very much. We very much appreciate your extra effort in going above and beyond. And I know John did a couple extra things, and I'm sure there's folks that weren't aware of the DPW and office staff. So it really, as Commissioner Melly alluded to, it takes many, many people to bring these festivals and other opportunities to the city, and we want to thank each and every one of them. I wish I could go by name, but that would take forever. So thank you everyone who attended, everyone who helped. We hope everyone had a wonderful time, and at the risk of being redundant, please make sure you get out to vote August 5th. We have in our area and nationwide a terrible turnout, especially in off election years. I personally don't even enjoy the term off election year. It really shows how little support that we give on that. It's a unique opportunity that other people around the world would love to have. And for my mind, it's you have a direct opportunity to influence the day-to-day lives of yourself and folks in your community. There's the senior millage, there's many direct things that are on there that affect your friends and neighbors, maybe more so than the larger elections. So please get out, whatever you do, whatever choice you choose to make on that date, just please get out and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't really have a lot, although this seems to be Mike Kittredge Day today, so. Thanks, Mike.
I told him to show up.
Yeah, oh, well, good, good, yeah. I know Mike and his team do a lot of work with shorthanded staff, so for them to go above and beyond and volunteer extra time to help out the community is awesome, Mike. And again, I'll put a plug in for that. So it's the 26th, it's King Road Park, 8 a.m., which is not too early. And
Will be coffee and donuts.
coffee and donuts. It'd be great to see a lot of people show up and help out. As far as this water bill issue, I want to thank you two gentlemen for showing up tonight. I don't think the city or anybody here is accusing you of, something false. But this is an opportunity to fix a problem that apparently needs to be fixed. So, and it's not the end of the road for this issue. So, yep, thank you. Short of that, that's all I have. So looking for a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.